Hi guys, this is the Wrestling Retrospective, and in this video I will be doing my predictions for this weekend's Money in the Bank pay-per-view. So to start with, we've got Ronda Rousey versus Natalya for the SmackDown Women's Championship, and I personally think that Ronda Rousey is going to beat the shit out of Natalya. I can't see a time at all where Natalya wins this match. Ronda Rousey looks in the bag 100%. I'm surprised that Natalya is still in title matches in 2022. But yeah, I can't see this going any other way than Ronda Rousey winning. It just makes the most sense. They're not going to have a lose so soon after winning the title. So everything just points towards Ronda winning, and hopefully goes on to a better storyline with someone else on SmackDown. Next up, Bianca Belair defends the Raw Women's Championship against Carmella. In this one, I'm going for Bianca Belair. I think that Carmella is pretty much a filling in for Rhea Ripley until she's better from the brain injury that she suffered on Raw a few weeks ago. I think Bianca's had a good run so far, and I feel like these two could put on a very good match. Not one of the matches of the night, but I think they could put on a good match. I was a bit annoyed at this at first because they fought so much on SmackDown last year. But I'm hoping that Bianca, being the Raw champion, and Carmella with kind of a newer gimmick, will hopefully put on a better match than they did last year. And of course, this was supposed to be the match at SummerSlam when Becky came back as well. So I don't know whether if the Women's Money in the Bank happens and Becky wins it, we might even get like a repeat in history of that match being abandoned so Becky can cash in. But also at SummerSlam she came in and just inserted herself. But yeah, I feel like, as I said, I think these guys put on a good match, but Bianca is definitely walking away with the championship here. I think the biggest threat to Bianca's championship is Rhea Ripley, and hopefully she'll be okay for SummerSlam, so those two can go at it, and maybe Bianca loses a title at SummerSlam again this year, like she did last year. So following that, we have Austin Theory versus Bobby Lashley for the United States Championship. And personally, I'm a bit torn about who's going to win this one. I think for Theory, if he wins it, he beats a former WWE champion. He goes on to bigger and brighter things, possibly John Cena at SummerSlam, but I'm not sure whether that's going to happen or not. But the thing is that what does Bobby Lashley do after that? He's feuded with Omos and won that feud as well. So what does Bobby Lashley go and do next? I'm not sure. Whereas Theory can go on to do other things, kind of provoke people into feuds, stuff like that, without the championship. And he can go into face Cena without the championship. So personally, I think Bobby Lashley is going to win and become the new United States champion, because it makes the most sense for Bobby to have a championship. I think he's over as fuck right now. And also it gives him something to do going into the latter stages of the year. And I think it's just more storylines for him to go on, whereas Theory can create his own without a championship. And I agree, it would do wonders for Theory to defeat Bobby Lashley. I can't shift this feeling that Theory isn't ready for that push yet. I know that around this point in John Cena's career, because a lot of people have been comparing Theory and Cena together, Cena was getting wins over Booker T, Big Show, etc., and getting that way up to the top, and it seems like they want to do the same with Theory, but I don't know, I can't shift this feeling that Bobby is winning this match because Theory is not ready yet. So that's going to be my choice. Then we're going to have a new US champion in Bobby Lashley. So following that, we have the Usos defending the Unified Tag Team Championships against the Street Profits. And though, again, I'm very torn on this one, I think the Profits are going to win, but either by disqualification or count out, so the Usos keep the championships. I think the only reason I think this is because they're making a big deal out of how the Street Profits can't beat the Usos, and the Usos have always had the Profits as numbers. And I think in this one they're going to get the win, but they won't get the titles, which will set up maybe a stipulation match at SummerSlam. I think these two could put on a great ladder match at SummerSlam, and it would be awesome, and Montez would be flying all over the place, and it'd be fantastic. But I think just to have that Usos almost have a bit of a crack in the Shield where kind of they think they're invincible, and their loss here at Money in the Bank will kind of put a chink in the armour. That's the analogy I was going for cracking a Shield. But yeah, I think the Usos need to be put a peg down, and I think this is the way to do it, and have them keep the titles as well. So they're a bit nervous going into SummerSlam, which adds to their story. But yeah, as I said, Street Profits to win, but with shenanigans and countouts or disqualification, so Usos keep the championships. There's a Money in the Bank ladder match, and honestly, I'm going back and forth about who is going to win this one. I think the main two I've got is either Becky Lynch or Liv Morgan, but I can't help but feel like Lacey might come in and steal it. Maybe Alexa will come in and steal it. I have no idea, and it's why I'm looking forward to this match so much. But I'm going to make a case for pretty much almost anybody. But Asuka, I think, will take out Becky, leading to their feud continuing and kind of Becky's downfall continuing on Raw. I think it's been quite a decent part of Raw, to be fair, seeing how Becky's gone from the very top right to the bottom again. You can see her sulking around. You saw her sat just numb looking when Cena made his entrance on Raw. So I think that's going to carry on, maybe. But at the same time, Becky could win it and start the rise of Becky after her such a downfall. So honestly, I have no idea. But I don't know. If Asuka takes out Becky, then great. I think Liv will get it. If she doesn't, then it's like I've run the risk, because I originally wrote on the screen Becky Lynch to win, and I've changed it to Liv Morgan. So I really am split. I feel like Alexa could steal it. I think her new gimmick change and then having Money in the Bank could have that development of a character. Especially she's still got Lily, but it's not doing all the dark stuff, which I don't get. I don't really get that. I feel like she needs more development before chasing championships, in my opinion. Raquel Rodriguez. I think she's too smiley, too much of a babyface, and the fans are going to eventually turn on her because, Ash John Cena, the fans hate 100% babyface, smiley, happy all the time. So I can't see her winning Money in the Bank because she needs more of a character before that kind of win. Shotzi, I would love Shotzi to win it. I'm a big fan of Shotzi Blackheart, and I will pop like no other if she wins Money in the Bank. But I just can't see her winning it. I don't think WWE have any kind of investment in her, and that's why I can't see her winning. Lacey Evans, they've done all this big build up for. They've moved her to Raw, they've moved her to SmackDown. Sometimes she's a face, sometimes she's a heel. They can't seem to make her mind up. But I feel like she's a dark horse in it, and that she could win it. And that could be the whole I came back, I won Money in the Bank, I'm going to win the Women's Championship. And it could do her wonders. I feel like Lacey has more than enough characteristics to be a champion. So I feel like she's the dark horse and one definitely to watch in this match. As for Liv Morgan, she's had this coming for ages. She truly deserves a championship, and has always fallen at the last hurdle. She tested Becky a lot during their feud, took her to the limit on Raw and in multiple matches. And I think this is where we finally pull the trigger on Liv Morgan and have her win Money in the Bank and eventually become Raw or SmackDown Women's Champion. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing that rise happen, because I think they've had vested interest in her for ages. They made the documentary about her. They pushed her, they've not pushed her. And I think it's just one of those things where it's like people just want her to win. She's over. I think it's going to be one of them really good, like feel-good babyface moments that will be remembered in Money in the Bank history, I think. And I'm very looking forward to watching it. So yeah, my winner for this match, reluctantly, just because of everything else that could happen, is Liv Morgan, but because she deserves it. And finally, we have the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Similar to the women's, I'm very undecided about who's going to win this one, but I think it's between three superstars. I think Omos, Sheamus, Zayn, and the to be decided, which I think will be Ezekiel I think it'll be Ezekiel. I can't see it being anyone else. I don't think they're going to win it. I I can't see them winning it at all. I think it's between Riddle, Rollins and McIntyre, and I have reasons for all three winning. Riddle, I think, losing to Roman Reigns on SmackDown and having the stipulation of Riddle cannot challenge again for the Universal WWE World, whatever, the UWU Championship. There's a way around that, and that is Money in the Bank. So he could find his way in a title match through winning Money in the Bank. And I'm very worried about that happening because I know Riddle is very over. I personally don't like Riddle, and I don't want him as Money in the Bank winner, and I don't want him as Universal Champion. And I can't get behind him. I don't like the character. I think he's a great athlete, and he makes me incredibly paranoid when he is wrestling in bare feet, especially as he's going to be in a ladder match. I know he's done it before, but it's still incredibly paranoid about his toes just snapping off. Second guy, Drew McIntyre. I think he gets the win and then announces his cash in at Clash at the Castle ahead of time so Roman knows who he's facing. And that makes the most sense. I know with Drew being Scottish and it being held in Wales, it's kind of the British, kind of the connection of, because he's British, he can challenge the title in Wales. And though I think that's going to happen anyway, I think Drew is going to face Roman at Clash of the Castle, whether he wins Money in the Bank or not. I think this is just a way to fast track it to that point. But my chosen winner for this match is Seth Rollins, and this is very influenced by Andrew on the Cultaholic YouTube channel. And I think the idea of Rollins winning, Cody coming back, winning the Rumble, facing Roman, Cody defeating Roman for the world title, and then Rollins cashing in Money in the Bank on Cody just as he gets his hands on the WWE Universal Championship, which is what he's wanted since he's come back. For Rollins to snatch that away from him would just be insane. I think it would be a massive pop. I think people are really behind Rollins as well. Though he's a heel, people love him, and I just think it makes the most sense to have Rollins have Money in the Bank. He has the history of Roman Reigns, so we can keep playing on that every so often if he's going to cash in. I think it'd just be really entertaining to see Seth Rollins with Money in the Bank again. So that's why he is my pick to win the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. So those are my predictions for Money in the Bank 2022. Do comment below what you think is going to happen at the pay-per-view, like the video, and do subscribe to the channel and put notification bell on, as more content will be coming to the channel on Monday. I will do my review of Money in the Bank, and then the next pay-per-view, I believe, is SummerSlam later on this month. And if there's any Impact specials on, I will be reviewing them as well. I know Against All Odds is tonight, so I might do that as well if you guys like. But for now, I will see you guys later on.